Anyway, this is a poem I wrote, sat in Jim's house when I normally just went to the tap to run the taps. There was no water, right? What in fucking Hag Hill? What? No water.
Not
Hag Hill, aye. Anyway, so I wrote this poem now, it's called Thoughtless, right? A sequence, because I recognise I'm thoughtless. A burst water pipe is a major thing. To buy a litre of water will prove too little in a day. Granted. Yet, in this we trust and breathe, always. When I turn on the tap, I expect water without thinking. Without thinking. Thinking about you. You or anyone else. A burst water pipe is a major thing. Thingy. This glass of water beside my bed is delicious, when drunk cold or warm, after drinking to drunk. Then the teeth cleaning ritual, when done with water, works well. To the water well we go, when sun, loudly and with unwavering gusto, welcomes a glass of water on cessation. Just even on a hot day in the sun, when feeling parched, slightly, a wee cup of the watery stuff sorts us right out. And yet, if the taps are off and the water is dry, and not there in your mouth, dry mouth, mouths large and small, tongues waggling airily, at the empty taps. In the kitchen, toilet and anywhere else you might have usually sourced your water. A cup of tea, no chance. A bath, forget it. Passing a gifted cup of water to a needy neighbour will not happen, that's like a friendly hand. Receiving a gifted cup of water from an able neighbour will not happen. Incommunicado. Where do we get our water from now? Tesco, Asda, Lidl, etc. No. All the water has gone to the big space station in the sky. And we are just starting to taste the front of death. Right, cheers.
I'm an anagram of Stuart's an anagram of water.
Is that a grammar?
Anagram of water is Stuart. Studio, come on.
Here's a poem that I wrote in honour of my friend and Jim's friend, John McGarrigle. If I can find it.
You will.
Aye, here we go. It's called The Mysterious Country. The Mysterious Country. When cold snow falls, hard men dance. Dance in places with mind we would not go. The follow-on to that is a poem called The Hermit. Long and tall, a calm world, wisdom with light holding above, secure, held over clouds, soft, gentle. Yellow, gentle greens, connected to overseeing well-being, eternal love, fatherly. Kindness, stillness, resting place in security of spirit, natural calm, steady. Watching carefully from above this plain world, steady without judgment, consistent, constant, presence, feelings of windless loss, limitless. Right, I said I'd read the devil for you, yeah?
Said what?
Devil.
Devil.
Devil. The devil, yeah, alright.
The deal.
You're right.
The deal, I said, to Scotland, come on, get in the door, folks. You're in the boat. You're in the boat. The deal's the deal. The deal's a law, the deal's a law. It's a law with a deal. It's a
Right,
law,
we're
it's a
gonna tee you up.
law. Come on.
I agree with
The deal's a
you.
law.
Remember your stance.
Sorry, one's making me right.
Aye. It's been in George's parties. You know, like used to be.
Alright.
Yep.
Right, here we go. Right, this is how interesting the devil really is, right?
Interesting.
Something else, right?
You're wearing red, by the way.
Oh shit.
You got a black coat.
Anyway, right, before I read that, I'll read you something else called no fags, eh?
I don't smoke, so.
Right. Ignore the paranoia, the swollen eyes, throat, the damaged vision attempting to see normality again. Which it doesn't. So ignore it and perhaps it will leave politely closing a door behind the drafts. Blurring lights aching in my head, my waterless brain and body recognizing my lungs expanding up and contracting in. Just with oxygen though, this. Time fuels the body. The brain disappointedly searching my veins for the missing nicotine. Passing in through female and out through male made of two fertility. A sense of combination, connection. Bringing together of male and female. Oneness, mainly all things together, all colours. There is separation of mankind from God's. Sense that mankind is chained and therefore has no choice other than to be with, focus on mankind while aware of other realms. This is a very powerful card. Lets the spiritual energies flow through him to earth. A sense that mankind is kept by his energy. From what? He is a keeper of symbols and of secrets, illuminating the dark to remind that secrets and symbols exist. A continuum of mystery creates a shortening of breath, encourages me to breathe. Face conditioning and fears, walk out of only light. Explore. The moon, the face in the star looks worried, deep in thought, very focused, like they are travelling and are. Present in every place, both past and present, future and beyond for eternity. The physical aspect is only an indication that this moon exists, positioned at the centre of the two. Towers sharing her light and presence, equally lighting and occupying lit worlds. A feeling of a singular, personal journey, ambition. Two dogs, children, communicating freely. They wish luck for the moon, the lobster, child. Saying hello from the underworld. All realms are travelled and lit by this card. Equally served, balanced throughout a cycle, the seasons generous and giving. The card on the land is divided by a path and walls, leading through the mountains. There is half sky and half earth, yet, despite these physical options, this card will remain constant with you. A teacher, a worker of systems, the mechanic of realms, respected throughout the tower. Everything is being destroyed, physically torn down from heights, created by mankind. The power of nature is lowering, grandeur, false displays of power, of being what we are not, our attempts of creating gods. Gods, smashed and unwelcome, the golden crown knocked off the stone-built tower. As it falls, mankind falls with it into the depths. A never-ending journey, fire golden up high is nature ridding us of these needs. We fall both helpless and helped. By the wheel of fortune, a very busy scene, set up high in the sky, symbols of light, golds, blues, orange, creatures holding court with gods, knowledge and swords sharing air, places, snakes courting lions, floating, play-like. The sun is prominent, defining a centre, the sun, life of all things held by man and beast, inviting, encouraging playfulness, a request to venture further, explore perhaps an unknown, to reach out. This is a collective feeling of well-being in all life. And there's one more I'd like to read.
That was very primal, very good. Primal and good poetry.
Right, the one I want to read next is,
Well, I'm thinking.
it's just to get your horn on, you know.
Oh, here we go.
Dedicated this to you.
Thank you, Graham.
Right, it's called Staying Home.
Staying home?
Staying Home.
Why don't you?
Aye. Put your hip strip on and come in my mouth. Oh God, I wish I could.
What a delivery! Excuse me for laughing.
Right. Right, this is a poem quite simply called Staying Home. Right? Put your hip strip on and come in my mouth. Oh God, I wish I could. But master, I cannot break the chain. You must release me, it's tearing my flesh. Bend closer so I can taste your cock. Push my tongue inside you. Flicking. Pushing harder till you tense up on my face. Suck. Then I'll suck harder, deeper, hold my head and pull me closer, deeper into you. I want you in any part of me while I finger you. For your pleasure, as I suck, lick, finger, fuck, my cunt is dripping, wank closer to my face, bite my soft tits, suck hard on my nipples, fuck. Fuck me harder like the romantics do, and spray your hot cum all over my face, my neck, I love it. Now push your cock right up into my wet cunt and fuck me hard till I explode. Come all over your cock. I fucking love that. Me too. Come here, kiss it. I love you. I love you too. Right, I'll read this for the woman I love. Adele, man, she likes this one, so I'll read it. Fuck it. This game.
That was
This is called-
an introduction.
You read it, man, you read it.
No, you do better than me.
Alright, this is called Drop With Me, My Love. What am I trying to hide from you? And then why? You know me, more than you know. Should make books like fucking computers. Mixtures of gods and egos, aye? I say to my gods as they lower down to listen, and you, stood still in your lonely eyes, reply, yes. As your gods lower down and listen, and just before the fall, we touch. In the rain I can feel my skin wet and your breath through the air. I wait for the clouds as they pass to the mountains, clearing an avenue for the sun to kiss my wet skin. The breeze flows around, down from the mountain tops, moving these wild grasses, drying my body, my hairs. I lift my head and neck. I squint with my eyes to see if my float has vanished, and rest back down again. Tears all over the pavements. The hedges cut, so the railways stand, revealed and alone. Having escaped the trim in the war, painted rusted, and bubbled off, red rusty. Now here's the last poem I'm going to do, it's called News, right? Heart attacks for
Can we get
sale.
an applause for that last
Good
one?
applause. Heart attacks for sale. This is called News, right? Exactly. Heart attacks for sale, on loan, for hire, buy now, pay later. Oh aye, pay later for your bonny wee heart attack. Cheap at half the price. And all wrapped up in the news of the world. Salted and brown sauce, handed over with a nod and a wink for the mirror man. Big smiles all round you. Aye, your wee heart attack. Right, fuck it, that's it. Thanks.
Rodney, relax.
I think getting a heart attack for after that performance for Gloria and home and whole ventilation mate after that, man. I didn't kind of do that sexual at the end, I'm not quite sure that. Should have cut that a bit quicker.
We're British,
Right?
That's his Presbyterianism coming out.
He's too switched on.
I just leave my sex life to myself. Anyway, right?
Take back, shall I?
Anyway, this is happy to be here. My name's Rodney Relax. I'm going to come in for the Soapbox round this year in a couple of weeks. Organised by the lovely Rosie over there. Thanks a lot for having us, and to Craig for kicking off the wee tour that he's organised. Hello, poetry.
No, don't Craig.
And I would really appreciate if there wasn't as much interjections as there has been in the last couple of evenings. Just shut the fuck
Okay,
up.
look. It's an invite, God.
Brody, I'll allow you one comment. Anyway, this is from my book Cubit, that's earlier, $3.50, only because there's prints in there, so there's hence the 50p extra. I probably not sell fuck all, and he's not give it all the anyway, so it doesn't matter. And this is for the book. I'm going to do 7 points for this wee book here, which was published by Graham Brody on a problem from the press. And then I'm going to do a wee sequence here, Tarantula Nebula, which should be the next book, so we'll see how that goes. This is one, the first one I wrote this with Nicky Mello, who is the Tipex Annihilation Syndrome poet. He left for me. We did this via text message, much easier. Swans. For all the queen swans in Northern England, dark, illicit, meat. No more wounded birds. Held the wounded bird in her hands, transfixed, a wee bit scared, just for a short while of it. Then with funny tears, she let it go.
Beautiful.
That was a piece for Sandy Craigie, who sadly we lost in 2005. One of the greatest Scottish poets ever kind of. Just the greatest poet. Anyway, this is a fine poem. Watching the end of the night there. This is anybody here read the Sunday Post?
Occasionally.
Oh, right. One. Right.
Once a week.
I always write that you wrote 70 to read that fucking newspaper with the views and comments in it. So anyway, this is a found poet from Can You Do Me a Favour, in which basically old age pensioners ask for kind of stuff and they didn't use the internet, basically. So, can you do me a favour? Searching for pre-1960 chess magazines and post-war Wimbledon tennis booklets, a copy of How Green Was My Valley or Marathon Man on video. Of an elderly relative can't use a DVD player, looking for an LP by Nat King Cole, along with a recipe, date and walnut cake from the Marks and Spencer cookbooks, and a red bus of the moon. I left my knitting pattern in it 2 weeks ago. Early hours. Once again, another dedication to a person we lost about 3 years ago called Stephen Edgar. Nicky Melvin and I were asked to write a piece for him. This is what we wrote. Early hours. Early hours. In cars when the batteries run down, and bus shelters drinking wine out of plastic cups. In mornings sharing stories with dogs, ravens, runaway orphans. To those we have known and ones we have lost in space, replaced them. This next piece is about a Kilmarnock willow. And my mother-in-law had one of them in the garden. But it was kind of, it looked like it was not in the best of health, and so she decided to get
My father liked to chop it down, so I gave her a guilt trip about that one, saying, you know, she had murdered this tree in the front garden. And hence the poem, The Death of the Kilmarnock Willow. The death of the Kilmarnock Willow on Paisley Drive this morning. His father was seen cutting it down. Nobody seems to know where his mother has gone. Probably at the back of the house, too scared to watch. The thin branches hanging, and so from the axe the final blow was delivered. -61 in Stenhouse, Chelsea's frozen in flight. Remember that guy at Royal Moat that was, did the wee shooting for me a couple of years ago? This is a piece I wrote. I was writing at the time, actually it happened. I didn't even know about the news report about him actually doing his girlfriend's husband in the Paul Gascoigne incident. I know, when they brought him the fish and they can't extend that. Just merely serendipity, coincidence, really. New Kid Target held the gun close as the car door wrenched open. Crows ripped faces in woods as detectives ran into the fields. Those who wept felt that it was time for the weapon to be handed over. As they pulled the trigger, the police went looking for a new Kid Target. End of the movie. Here's another fine poem. Anybody here take that fan to top? Right. You're over 40. Neil Lasse's here. Take that fan to top. Okay. Thanks. What are we getting? That interjection's alright. Yes. Well, this is a piece in the Sunday Herald. The guy was reporting on all these 40 plus year olds going to take that concert in Newcastle of all places, so you can imagine it. On a wet Monday night, didn't matter to these lasses. Found that. Staggering around, weeping on pavements, alcohol related take that, mammy, army babies, tucked in innocence and continent excess, teeny bopper style fueled by white wine and vodka, behaviour of women come out, collapse, take a leak in the streets, pink glittered eyelids, peed in their pants of emotional strain, drunken stagger down a few beers, kids back home, beyond the walls, faint, eerie wailing of grown-up women, not unlike any Saturday night with hordes of middle-aged women on the pool, hope to get lucky. We're all of course. And this is the last piece from this collection, Cubit of Cubit New. Basically, the poem is kind of inspired by Brighton Rock, and of course it was a remake of the movie as well, which is, I thought it was no bad myself actually. So anyway, so this is just a wee piece inspired by that. Cubit of Cubit New. Cubit of Cubit New got killed, searching for murder in seaside towns, where birds swooped under piers, white in obscurity. In winter, snowfell covered tracks, tramwheels creaked around bars, a whisper, not too audible, of colours' identities. Cars left on tables, lovers in restaurants, cabaret singers, late night trysts in low-end hotels, guns in the attics of hoodlums' quarters, persons unknown who cry at night, knowing in the morning they will die in the underground station, the sound of the train, the last thing they will hear. Cheers.